The person is free who lives as they wish, neither compelled, nor hindered, nor limited, whose choices aren't hampered, whose desires succeed, and who don't fall into what repels them. Who wishes to live in deception, tripped up, mistaken, undisciplined, complaining, in a rut? No one. These are base people who don't live as they wish, and so no base person is free. Epictetus. We've all experienced moments when we do things just to impress others or give in to fleeting urges without considering their true worth. As Seneca, the brilliant thinker, points out that even powerful individuals can become enslaved by money, status, and their own desires. How tragic it is to be trapped in our own making. We've been there too, agreeing to countless events and commitments that leave us with little time for ourselves. By questioning our choices and aligning with our true desires, we can free ourselves from self-imposed slavery. It's time to reclaim our freedom and live life on our own terms, with clarity, purpose, and the courage to say no when necessary. Through this, we gain the clarity to identify self-imposed obligations and unnecessary commitments that drain our time and energy. An important place to begin in philosophy is this: a clear perception of one's own ruling principle. Epictetus. We often go through life on autopilot, being governed by our emotions, beliefs, and habits without giving them much thought. Epictetus challenges us to wake up, to switch off autopilot, and actively engage our minds. It's about questioning why we feel certain emotions, why we hold certain beliefs, and why we use certain language. When we begin this journey of self-inquiry, we gain a newfound awareness of our own thoughts, feelings, and actions. We start to understand ourselves better, gaining insights into our strengths and weaknesses, our fears and desires. Self-awareness is similar to looking in a mirror and truly seeing ourselves, the authentic selves without pretenses or facades. It's recognizing the person staring back and acknowledging our individuality, our unique experiences, and the impact we have on the world around us. But it doesn't stop there. Self-awareness opens the door to a deeper level of understanding. Of all the things that are, some are good, others bad, and yet others indifferent. The good are virtues and all that share in them. The bad are the vices and all that indulge them. The indifferent lie in between virtue and vice and include wealth, health, life, death, pleasure, and pain. Epictetus. We can learn from Epictetus and his idea about indifference. It's not about being cold or uncaring. It's more like finding balance. We should recognize that there are things that can be good, like virtues and being a good person. Bad, like vices and being a villain. And then there's this vast middle ground of indifference. Indifference includes stuff like wealth, health, life, death, pleasure, and pain. These things are neither inherently good nor bad. They just exist. With awareness, we can notice when we're getting too passionate or attached to things in the indifferent zone, like wealth, possessions, or even worries about life and death. Instead of being blindly driven by these emotions, we gain the power to step back and assess them objectively. Imagine how much better it would be if we didn't get all worked up over things in that indifferent zone, we wouldn't be losing our minds over how much money we have or what others think of us. We can enjoy the good things in life without being terrified of losing them. It's appreciating what we have, but also accepting that it could all vanish someday. In public, avoid talking often and excessively about your accomplishments and dangers. For however much you enjoy recounting your dangers, it's not so pleasant for others to hear about your affairs. Epictetus. Narrative fallacy is when we piece unrelated events from our past into grand stories, giving us a false sense of coherence and certainty. But let's keep it real. None of us want to be trapped in a conversation where it's all about the person's highlight reels. It might get boring, annoying, and downright self-absorbed. It all goes the same for everyone. While it might feel great to be the center of attention, let's be aware of how others feel. Instead of making it all about ourselves, let's connect with others genuinely. We should be mindful of how we present ourselves and the impact our words have on those around us. So the next time we're tempted to steal the show, let's take a step back and focus on what truly matters, connecting with others in a way that's relatable and respectful. Remember, let others be the star of their own shows. These things don't go together. You must be a unified human being, either good or bad. You must diligently work either on your own reasoning or on things out of your control. Take great care with the inside and not what's outside, which is to say, stand with a philosopher or else with a mob. Epictetus. Look, life has its different versions, and so do we. We've got all these different sides to ourselves, pulling us in different directions. And the world out there? It's just as chaotic and confusing. If we're not careful, all these forces will tear us apart. It's like being torn between a good person or a bad one. It's about taking care of what's inside, not just what's on the outside. If we don't pay attention to our minds and hearts, we'll end up a mess on the outside. So, we should be true to ourselves, figure out what matters to us, and not get lost in the noise of the world. If we are already good people, we should stay true to that. But if we realize that there are areas where we need to improve, we shouldn't be afraid to work on becoming better versions of ourselves. It is simple to be nice and kind. After all, it's all about growth and learning. Let's be open to change and embrace values that promote kindness, compassion, and integrity. Lastly, keep in mind that self-awareness is the catalyst for personal growth and positive change in our lives. With that, this is again powerful quote. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.